This is Living the RV Dream, episode 170 for Friday, November 20th, 2020. I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV. Hello, happy campers. Hello, fellow Pelican heads. All right, everybody. Today, our guest in the podcast is the RV DJ, Sonia. And hi, Sonia. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
If you watch my Friday live streams, you know she's a staple there every Friday and chatting. But today, we're gonna get to know the real Sonia a little more, the real RV DJ. And anyways, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Rob. It's glad to have you on. It's definitely an honor. And I'm looking forward to answering any questions that you might have.
First of all, since obviously you are in an RV there, and that's part of the name, the RV DJ, how did you start? Are you full-timing? How did you start RVing? That kind of thing?
No, we're not full-time. I live about 2 hours north of the campground. So I travel every Friday afternoon after work, come down for the weekend, and depending on how many gigs I have on a Saturday, sometimes I have one, sometimes I have a double. So I could be out from 10 o'clock in the morning till 11 o'clock at night, just jumping from one campground to another. And then we come back, and then we leave on late Sunday morning, and then we go back home, and I just repeat the process every week.
So you pretty much spend every weekend in camping in your RV, and then well, that's cool. That's a cool way to do it.
It's on a seasonal site, so we don't have to tow it back and forth or anything like that. So it just stays here year round, and we just close it up in the wintertime and come back in April and start all over again.
Right. See, because you're in New Jersey, so at some point you're gonna have to winterize.
Yeah, next weekend is actually the last weekend that the seasonals are allowed to be here, so we have to close up next weekend. And then the campground actually itself closes on the 18th, so there will be no water after that. The electric will be on, but you can't use anything. The laundry and the bathrooms and everything will all be winterized and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But there will still be people here working, maintenance people working, and stuff, but you just can't stay here.
And you're in the Cape May area, right? Cape May,
yeah,
New Jersey?
We're at Mays Landing RV Resort, which is about 40 minutes from Cape May. It's not that far, but straight shot down the parkway. And it's in Atlantic County, which is above Cape May County, but it's not that far. It's not that far away.
Now, that seems like a pretty good gig, You're going every weekend and DJing at different campgrounds. How did you get started doing that? I mean, that's something I might want to do at some point, too,
It's actually a really cool gig. I've actually owned the business for 25 years. We started it in April of 95 when I was 21 years old. So I was born in 73, so I'm only a couple of years younger than you are. So we started in 95. I really didn't get into the campground thing. My first gig at a campground was in the late 90s up in the Poconos at Timothy Lake North, which was, now it's not so much, but back then it was a booming campground. Always busy, always had some kind of dance. I would play up there for New Year's Eve every year because it was open year-round because of all the skiing in the Poconos. So you could go up there year-round. And then as things changed and times went on, I was out of there, and I was kind of slow, and it was kind of a low time in my life because there wasn't a lot going on with the DJing, because in my area where I live in North Jersey, there's a ton of DJs. So I wasn't getting a lot of work, and it was really, really getting me down. Like, I was really dark about it. And I was at the point where I was going to sell everything. Just say the heck with this. Like, it's not working. I'm done. I'm finished. And, everybody was like, no, you can't do that. You have so much money. You have money invested in this and everything. So I said, all right, I'll give it one more shot. So I started contacting the campgrounds down the shore, down here. And I contacted this one called Lake and Shore RV. It was called Lake and Shore Campground at the time. down in Ocean View, which is in Cape May County, about 15 minutes from Wildwood, Cape May area. And I got in there for a audition, and they said, "Yeah, we're having a Thanksgiving thing. If you want to come in, we'll have you play for that." And from there on, it was just it was just snowballed. I went from that campground, and then word got out to another campground down the road, to another campground, to another campground, and next thing you know, here I am. I'm playing 5 campgrounds that are owned by the same corporation, and 1 that is outside the system. So now I'm working at 6, all within the past 15 years. So I've been actually with the campgrounds for 15 years, just doing the same thing every year, just playing doubles and stuff like that. And it actually took off, thank God, because there was a really bad point where I was not ready to. It just wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, it sounds like a fun gig. That kind of happened to me. I used to DJ in the early '90s. I still have my 2 turntables and all that. Back in the day,
okay,
we used turntables. Then we moved to CDs and eventually MP3s. But at some point, like in the early 2000s, I decided not to do it anymore. But I'm glad you were able to find that niche. That with the campground.
Yeah, I am too, because like I said, for a long time there was just nothing going on, and to have so much money invested in, and of course, as time goes on and the equipment, changes and things go digital and stuff like that, you carry less and less stuff. I went from using a full-size van when I was carrying, 2 folding tables and 6 cases of CDs and, an amp and a mixer and this, and I'm down to a Colorado, obviously, which I'm carrying. Yeah. 2 speakers, and there's a lot less.
And then the laptop, basically, probably a laptop, and that's it, right?
Yes.
I remember, we used to carry crates of records. I started in the records, and that was crazy. I used to do cruise ships.
All those records.
I used to do cruise ships, and carrying all that stuff into a cruise ship, it was like 10 trips.
That's bad. Yeah. Yeah. But like I said, as things went digital, and I was a little leery about the digital thing. I'm like, okay, I don't know which computer to get. Should I use a PC? Should I use a Mac? What's going to be stable? And luckily, knock on wood, I use a Dell PC for my primary laptop with Virtual DJ, and that has, I've revamped it since.
What software are you using now?
Virtual DJ.
Virtual DJ, yeah, that's the one. I still have it. I still have it in my older laptop there.
I find it to be the easiest software to use.
Yes, it is.
And I know, because when I mingle, I know all the people from the campgrounds, so when I go there and I do a pool party or a beach party and I want to go out and mingle with some of the people that are hanging out, I can just set it on auto mix and let it go and go just, go hang out and talk and, stuff like that. So it makes it a lot easier, instead of having to stand there and actually, do stuff.
The technology is so great, because virtual DJ, it matches the beats for you. It's like I still have the 10-year-old version of it. I'm sure it has improved over the years too, but they
update it once in a while.
Back in the day, you have to match the beats by ear,
and I'm not good at that.
Yeah. It's.
I think that's an acquired thing, and I just can't. I can't pick it up for some reason. I practice so much on it.
I used to do it, for fun more than anything. Really people dancing sometimes they don't really care as much, but I used to do it for fun more than anything. Because, you froze there for a second, but I think you're back.
And that's how you learn. You just have to mess with it and learn how to do it. But then that's good.
Yeah. And now you also have a YouTube channel, the RV DJ as well, right? Tell us a little bit about your YouTube channel and what you're doing. Because you're streaming almost every day, right?
It's getting to be like that. Normally I'm not an in front of the camera type of person, but
oh no, now you are.
Yeah. I was usually the one that was always, camera shy and behind the camera and stuff. The channel started back when the pandemic started. I was laid off from my day job. I was a school bus driver at the time. So I had my CDL. And we were put on unemployment. And I'm not used to sitting around. Like, if I'm not working, I'm sleeping. I'm always working. I'm always doing something. So sitting around going, well, what am I going to do? I got all this time off. What am I going to do? So we were watching YouTube, and that's when we found you. So we started watching, all your videos and stuff like that. And Jim says, I'm telling Jim, I said, I wonder if I could do that, but do it with the DJing and with the campgrounds. So I bought this, knockoff GoPro off of Amazon for like $70, because I wasn't going to invest too much money in the video equipment if it wasn't really going to, And I got my phone. So I started making videos of my gigs and stuff like that, knowing in the back of my mind that I wasn't going to be able to use the actual music in my gigs because of copyright issues.
Copyright, yeah. At least you wouldn't be able to monetize it. You could use it, but they were going to demonetize those videos.
Right. Yeah. So I said, well, let me go find some music. And little by little, I started with back in May when we were allowed back into the campground because we were pushed back a month and a week because of everything that was going on. Mm-hmm. So they finally let us in May. So I did, my first video was 25 minutes long, and it was a walk around the campground. Cool. And then I went on from there and there and there. And it took me a while to actually want to do my first live stream because I was like, okay, I was just going to work out and stuff like that. So I can, in a sense, I can say that, you were kind of the inspiration for that because, we had watched you, and then I just kind of took some, little pointers from you and started doing stuff like that. And then I started making little videos and here and there. We went to Sunset Beach and we went here and we went all over the place. And I started posting. People started subscribing. Mm-hmm. I think I was at 100 subscribers. Right around, I don't know, you shouted it out. I forget what month it was. Maybe May. I hit my first 100. Mm-hmm. And now I'm up to 448. So it's growing slow, but people are enjoying me doing the gigs and taking them to different campgrounds, and then I started doing the lives, doing the trivia and stuff. So I'm getting out of that shell I'm trying to get out of. So
and these things, they keep growing and growing. I think 400, it's in the short time that you've had the channel, that's pretty good. And you have this very tight group of people that follow you. Do you do the trivias and all that? I jump in from time to time, and I can tell you're having fun.
A lot of people came in. Yeah, and I'm trying to, because how I am on those live streams and how you see me, and so that's who I am. That's not a front. That's not something that's fake. That's who I am, And I guess people are attracted to the personality or whatever it is, but it makes them laugh, and we have a good time with it. So they always seem to come back.
Yeah, it's a good way to pass time. That you have a very contagious laugh that that you can tell is genuine.
Everybody looks at my laugh.
Yeah,
Alan Chitwood says it all the time. He's like, "Oh my God, that laugh."
So
I'm really glad that you guys pop on. I mean, it's I never expected that somebody that I started watching who does travel videos would pop into my stuff. But I really appreciate when you guys come in and hang out with us.
It's one of the things that I wish I could pop up more often. When I had my day job, I had a lot more time to do YouTube, believe it or not, because YouTube was pretty much playing 24/7 right on my desk when I had my desk job, and now it's like I'm always doing something.
Well, you're doing something that's related to your channel, so it takes up a lot more time.
Yeah,
that's understandable. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I want to, now that the season is winding down, like I don't have any more gigs for the season. My last gig was last weekend. So I have to figure out what I'm going to do for winter content.
What are your plans for the winter? Yeah.
I'm going to have a couple of interviews, that I want to set up with people that I've already talked to about. Hopefully you'll be one of them.
Of course.
And, talk about the musician side of Robert as opposed to the traveling side of Robert, which everybody knows about. So hopefully we can do that. I got to just think of something that's still music related, for the video, for video uploads and stuff, just to keep the genre of the channel the same, Do you ever
plan to travel more, maybe, visit different campgrounds in the area, or you pretty much plan to remain static there?
Eventually, we've talked about maybe taking, like I said, the trailer isn't really set up to do any kind of boondocking yet. You know, it's set up for solar, but it doesn't have any solar on it.
Yeah, they never
Um,
are. They never are out of the factory. Really, you have to upgrade them yourself usually.
yeah, but you know, we eventually want to take a trip somewhere maybe close, maybe to Mayberry next October. You know, because Jim's sister lives in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, we could, you know, stop there and then head to Mayberry or whatever. Hopefully we'll get down to Florida one time with it. Yeah. Eventually we'll branch out with it. Depends on because I have a new job now that I'm back at work, you know, back Monday through Friday, you know, it depends on work and stuff and what they allow
if you could do DJ work during the winter in the South, if you think about it. You could. I know this guy who he does kind of the same thing that I do here at the lounge, but he does with the guitar, and he does like, oh, you know, he goes from campground to campground in Florida during the winter, you know, and
nice. That would be awesome to snowbird in Florida and do DJ gigs. That's something I also thought about doing. You know, that would be like a good thing. You know, find a place that we could sit at for 6 months or whatever. You know, and or if we had to, go from one place to another if they set it with you know, a site or whatever, just to do something for the winter time. But up here it's so hard because, you know, unless you're doing a wedding or a private party or something, all the campgrounds are closed.
It tends to get cold, which is something I'm not used to.
Well, this weekend is great because we got 75 degrees and sun all weekend this weekend. So
are those? I mean, for those of if you just listening to the podcast, eventually I'm gonna post the video too. Are those fall colors behind you there, or is that just like a sunset happening?
I'll actually swing you around here. We got fall colors going on here.
Yeah, that's beautiful. You can't really tell on camera, but
there's Jim.
There's Jim. Hey, Jim, and. But yeah, the 2 or 3 times that I've been up there, I never time it right to see the fall colors. So at some point, maybe next year, I'll linger.
This campground is, definitely when you come up, we'll definitely take you around to see the colors. And this campground is really amazing with the colors in the trees. When I woke up earlier this morning, I was looking out, and I was really surprised at all the reds and yellows and oranges and stuff that were out. So it's really amazing.
It's really beautiful. I've only seen them once or twice in the North Carolina, the Blue Ridge Parkway, but in any case, by the way, for those of you just listening to the audio version of the podcast, I'm going to put a link in the show notes so you can see the video as well. And it's the YouTube channel is called Living the RV Dream. It's a YouTube channel that I'm growing to. So, and I've got about 400 subscribers too. So but it's gonna be the companion to the podcast. Of course, I cross post everything on the what's it called? The community tab on the main channel. So
you'll grow way faster than I will.
So, anything else that you would like us to know about you? How you got started? Well, you told us how you got started in DJing and how you got the camper, but anything else?
I'm actually conspiring. Well, not really conspiring, but I'm working with Papa Drew and Bob's Adventure on doing a virtual DJ gig from Jersey to Quartzsite.
That would be
there,
really
Rob?
Cool.
You there? Are you there? Okay.
Yeah. The internet is kind of on and off. By the way, how do you get a good internet at the campground?
I'm working with.
We're having some communications issues here.
You have to buy the Wi-Fi here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's coming on and off. I heard you can buy the Wi-Fi here. That's what I heard. Yeah, I apologize for those of you listening and watching at home.
There aren't that many people here. It shouldn't be lagging like that. But
yeah, it's lagging a little bit. I can't wait for that thing that Elon Musk is doing, the Starlink with all the satellites.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I already signed up. I'm gonna be first in line when it becomes available down here.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
So you were telling me about
Anyway, yeah, you have to buy the
the
Wi-Fi.
joint venture with Papa Drew and Quartzite. How are you gonna do that?
Yeah, I'm going to do a virtual DJ gig from Jersey to Quartzsite. Not during the RTR, but during the week that they're having the thing that Papa Drew is organizing from the January 16th to the 21st. I don't know if you're going to be there for that one or not.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to hightail it over there. Yeah.
It's pretty much we're going to stream music from here under the radar, from here to Quartzsite. We're working out the logistics now, but we think we have it pretty much figured out. I have to do a test run with Bob's Adventure on that to see, because he's out in Oregon, to see how well that works. The easy part's on my end. I just have to set up the link. They just have to figure out how to get it out to the people.
Yeah, that should be relatively easy. I mean, if they, I could help with that too, if they need something. And Quartzsite, amazingly enough, it's one of those places that has excellent, at least with AT&T, excellent internet coverage. It's like for being so remote. Yeah. It's not so much. It's not so much they have to figure out how to get the music out from their computer out to the speakers. Yeah, that should be easy. It should be just a cable. That's how we do it, right? That's the same way with DJ, and we get the audio out of the computer to the speakers. It should be.
And it's not going to be a live stream, so there's not going to be any copyright issues. It's all going to be done off. I'll be in the basement, so to speak. But
you can make it like an what's wrong with me today? My mind is an unpublished video. An unlisted. That's the word.
Right. It'll be a private video. Yeah,
and that's it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we're working on that, and then also for the winter, I have set up. I think I'm going to do some virtual gigs like once a week, not through Zoom, but through another program that Jim's company sells. The company that Jim works for, they sell 3CX. I can do it through there too. It's all private. If you want to be part of the gig, I have to send you a link, and there's no copyright problems. It's all like a private party type of thing. Right. So I think I'm gonna do those once a week or so.
That'll be cool. Yeah, send me a link. I'll be listening.
Yeah, and you can come up on the panel, and it'll be like this. You can come up on the panel because 3CX is similar to Zoom, where you can come up and hang out while you're doing whatever and listen to the music. So.
Yeah, this year definitely everybody has gotten used to Zoom. Zoom is everywhere.
Yeah. Well, 3CX is there's no streaming hours. It's free. There's no there's nothing you have to pay after a certain amount of time or anything. It's strictly free. So that's cool. There's no limit on anything. So we're gonna we have that lined up and some other stuff. So I think we'll be all right. Get us through to April.
Cool. Well, thank you, Sonia, for being on the podcast. Anything you want to plug? Your YouTube channel or your DJ gig or whatever? Let us know.
Yeah, check out my channel. It's called the RV DJ, all capital letters. And check me out. Check out my videos, and hopefully you'll subscribe. And that's pretty much all I can ask for, honestly.
Yeah, trivia nights are fun. That's for sure.
Yes, Rob always comes in on the trivia nights, and he enjoys having fun with it. So,
all right,
if Robert likes it, then you'll like it.
Yep. All right, our guest today has been the RV DJ here on Living the RV Dream podcast. So, thank you so much. Thank you for being on the show.
Thanks, Robert. Thanks for having me. Glad I could be on.